guys, it's Traci. Welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be talking about my most anticipated releases for the remainder of 2020. I was actually looking forward to filming this video. One, because it gives me something to look forward to in this year. Little things that count really, but two, because I think there are some really amazing releases that are about to come out and should be spoken about. So we'll get right into it. So the first two that I want to talk about are actually July releases. So they were released as of today. I'm fairly sure in the US, July the 7th. Which is the day that I'm filming on, so it'll probably be yesterday for you guys. The first one is Cinderella is Dead by Kalynn Bayron. Okay, and just ignore me if I'm reading off the screen. I need to make sure I'm getting this author's name right. So Cinderella is Dead is set 200 years after the first ball that Cinderella attends. It is now an annual thing. Women will attend the ball and men will seek out their hand in marriage. The women who don't get picked to be a bride will then end up disappearing and no one hears from there. And then we have 16-year-old Sophia who attends the ball, and there she meets the last descendant of Cinderella and her stepsister, and they get together to try and bring this kind of system down because they don't believe in it. And along the way they start to figure out a secret to the Cinderella story that no one knew about, so they unravel that mystery as well. The next book is also a July release, so this one is called Girl, Serpent and Thorn by Melissa Bashardoust. I'm so bad at pronouncing authors' names. This one is about a girl who is poisonous to the touch. So she ends up hiding herself away. There's like a secret garden that she would spend a lot of time with. And then it comes the day of her twin brother's wedding. Now this is when she has to decide whether she wants to come out and actually experience the world, whether she wants to go and find out why this is happening. And the answer to her questions can be found through a demon that's trapped in the castle dungeon. So for her, it's finding out the answers as to whether she is a human or a monster in this case, which I think is fascinating as well. So those were the July releases. Now I will be writing up a list of other July releases on my blog that I'll leave a link to down below, so you can check that out as well. Moving on there, and in August we have Midnight Sun by Stephenie Meyer. And I'm so sorry because I know people will be talking about this countless of times. But yes, I am excited for it. It is going to be coming out August the 4th. This is just a retelling of Twilight through Edward's perspective. That's about it. But my 14-year-old self is screaming for it, which is really bad. I know I'm going to read it. I'm probably not going to love it as much as my 14-year-old self will, but we'll see how that it goes. Otherwise, August 11th, we'll see the release of Star Daughter by Shveta Thakrar. This, I think, is going to be one of my most anticipated releases for the latter half of the year. It has Hindu mythology involved in this, centers around a girl who's half human, half star. She has secret powers that she has hidden for quite a while now, until one day she accidentally injures her human father, and the only way to help him recover or heal is from a full star power. The only full star that she knows is her mum, who's already returned to the sky, so it's her quest to try and save her dad. The whole premise to me sounds so fascinating because I've never read anything along the lines of this, in the sense that yes, we've heard a lot about half mortal, half immortal, you know, like half god, half human kind of mixes, but to be half human, half star, as well as to have that Hindu background to it, I haven't read anything that's set kind of in that theme or that genre. So really excited to read that one. We then have We Are Not Free by Traci Chee. This one is due for September the 1st, and this is also another one that I have been keeping an eye out. So in this book, a large group of Japanese people are sent into a concentration camp, and within that concentration camp you get a small group of Japanese people who are sick and tired of this. They start to form a group to basically revolt and try and save their people. I feel like this is such a prevalent story within the current context of what's happening around the world right now. I am intrigued to see what Traci Chee has to deliver to us in this story. Next is Come On In, which is due for release on October the 13th. This is an anthology written by a number of writers from migrant backgrounds, and they're talking about immigration experience and transitioning into a new country, in particular a new Western country. Again, I'm here for the stories and to see what they have to deliver. My parents are from migrant backgrounds, so I have heard some things from them. I definitely think that they haven't told me a lot about their experience, and I don't hold that against them because it's just up to them whether they're comfortable or not sharing with me. I'm really wanting to read this anthology just to see what I can get from it and what they're wanting to share with the world, and I'm sure it's going to be really, really moving. Another October release is Magic, Dark and Strange by Kelly Powell. Now, this centers on Catherine Daly and her ability to kind of bring people back from the dead for an hour so that they can say their last final words with their loved ones. They're not exactly alive, but they are able to speak and communicate during that hour. The consequence, though, is that she loses an hour of her life every time she does this. One day she gets sent on an errand to retrieve a mysterious object. She's worried that there's an enchantment on there, so she enlists the help of a guy named Guy Nolan, who's the watchmaker's son. When they start digging, they actually find the body of a teenage boy, but instead of being in that in-between phase when she wakes him up, he actually materializes into a physical body and is alive again, like physically alive. So that's when she realizes that this is a bit more powerful than what she's used to, and what are the dangers that are lurking around because of this. Fascinating stuff. I feel like this is going to be quite dark. Premise itself doesn't really give way into what or how the story is going to progress, and that's kind of where I'm intrigued about what's going to happen going forward. Is she going to use those powers? Those are my questions, so that's why I want to read this one. Rent a Boyfriend by Gloria Chao. It comes out November the 10th, and this one here is kind of like a Korean drama, or like even an Asian drama packed into a book. At least that's what it sounds to me. So Chloe Wang ends up renting a boy named Drew Chan to be her boyfriend to impress her parents. Now, he's part of an app where they have selected a number of people who can definitely impress your Asian parents. On Drew's end, he's doing this to make ends meet because his parents have cut him off from living necessities and funding, basically, because he's tried to pursue a career in the arts, which his parents definitely don't agree with. And then Chloe starts to fall for Drew. Like I said, sounds like a Korean drama in the making. November is summer for us, and I'm definitely down for a fluffier read, something that sounds quite fun. Next is Those Who Pray by Jennifer Moffet. This one comes out November the 10th as well. This follows a girl named Sadie when she attends her first year in college. She thought it was going to be, your typical college life, and it doesn't end up like that at all. Instead, she gets the attention of a group called the Kingdom. One day she ends up traveling to Italy with the group, and then one thing follows another and someone ends up dead. Again, there's that mystery aspect to it that really drew me in, but also who the Kingdom is, why they were created, what their purpose is, and I think this is just kind of like a dramatized version of what college groups and I know in Australia we've got colleges which are like dorms for people to live in, and I've heard a lot about initiation phases in there, but I would say that in America, I guess you've got your, what are they called? Frat and sorority houses, that's right. I guess you've got those. Maybe they have initiation phases in their groups as well, I'm not too sure. But yeah, this is just one of those things where I think it's a college mystery, and we'll see how we go with it. Another November release, and this one is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. It is the first book in the series These Violent Delights. Now with this one here, I know I'm not going to be able to summarize this as perfectly as what the blurb has explained it out to be, but it's set in the year of 1926 in Shanghai, and there are blood feuds between two gangs. In the middle of all of this is an 18-year-old girl named Juliet Kai, who's a former flapper, and she's returned to her role as a proud heir of the Scarlet Gang, a network of criminals far above the law. And their rival is the White Flowers, who have fought the Scarlets for generations, and behind their every move is their heir, Roma Montagov, Juliet's first love. So this is almost like a Romeo and Juliet spin-off or readaptation but set in Shanghai. And then things start to spiral out of control. There's a lot of chaos, and then people start whispering and they're worried that there is potentially a monster hiding in the shadows. Now, whether that's an actual monster or if that's another gang or another figure waiting in the shadows, I'm not 100% sure. But there are so many deaths, and then Juliet and Roma have to start working together to figure out what's going on. I am exceptionally excited for this. I didn't like Romeo and Juliet at all, I'd have to say, the book or the play or the movie, but I am ready for this readaptation. And then lastly, we have The Cousins by Kalynn and McManus. This one is due for December the 1st. Now, in this one here, you've got 3 cousins whose parents have been disowned by their grandma. Yes, that's right, grandma. And then one day, she sends out letters to all 3 of them to come and visit her in this particular place. And their parents are like, yes, you have to go. You have to get back into your good books. We need to inherit. We need to get back into the inheritance, basically. But when they arrive there, something's not quite right, and they realise that their grandma has a bit more up her sleeve than what she's let on. Slowly, they start to learn of a family secret, and I'm hoping that it's one that's going to take me by surprise with a lot of plot twists and a lot of thrills and suspense. So that's the last book that I am excited for. If you are excited for any other releases that I haven't mentioned yet, please leave a comment down below. Otherwise, do any of the books that I have mentioned intrigue you as well? I hope you guys have a lovely day, and I shall see you soon. Bye!